Hey, this is Dr. Hymers in my office.
这是海罗博士在我办公室里。
Este es Dr. Hymers en mi oficina.
I am going to talk to you just in English.
现在仅仅用英文告诉大家一件事儿。
Le hablaré solamente en inglés.
But we'll be back in just a few minutes to preach the sermon, and that'll be in English and Spanish and Chinese as always.
再过一会儿呢，我们讲到的时候就是用3种语言了：中文、英文、西班牙语。
Pero regresaremos en unos minutos para predicar el sermón y será en inglés, español y chino como siempre.
So keep watching.
继续观看下。
Sigue mirando.
Now at the top of your screen is an address where you can write to get these 2 books. We're offering these 2 books, one by Dr. Kagan and one by me, and 2 books for the price of 1. This is Dr. Kagan's book, From Darwin to Design. It is a book on showing the untenable nature, the falseness of the Darwinian theory of evolution, and he does a fine job. Dr. Kagan has a PhD in mathematics from UCLA, and he has written this wonderful book. I helped him a little bit with the English of it. And Dr. Henry M. Morris, the founder of the Institute for Christian Research, said, "It's a delight to read." And Dr. D. James Kennedy said, "A word of warning to those who may pick up this book by chance, you most likely will not be able to put it down." Darwin to Design shows how Dr. Kagan, a staunch atheist, gradually began realizing the laws governing the universe are too precise to point to anything but intelligent design by God. I want you to have this book, and I want you to have this one as well. This one is my autobiography. It's called Against All Fears. Dr. Kagan wrote on the back, "You will laugh, you will cry, it will encourage you when you're ready to give up." Dr. Page Patterson, the president of Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, said, "Read this book and you will be blessed." This is my autobiography, and it's quite a book. It's got photographs of me with everybody from Richard Nixon to Billy Graham, and I met some real heavy Christians in my day, as the hippies would say. And this is my life story. Moish Rosen, Jews for Jesus, Patrick Buchanan, Dr. Bob Jones Jr., Richard Nixon, President Reagan, pictures with me, and I met these great men, Dr. W.A. Criswell, Dr. Robert L. Sumner, and Dr. John R. Rice, Dr. Richard Rembrandt, Dr. Bill Bright, and Dr. Jerry Falwell. These are some of the men that I've met, Billy Graham, over the years, and Francis Schaeffer. And I want you to have this book. It's my unvarnished and truthful autobiography, how I came up as a boy, a virtual orphan, and how I came into the ministry and failed as a missionary, but now I'm pastor of the only independent fundamental Baptist church in downtown Los Angeles. This book will blow you away. It's called Against All Fears. A frightened boy overcame incredible obstacles and became an inspiration to millions. I'm going to send you both these books because I believe you need them. You will read them yourself, and if you're a pastor, you'll teach these books to your young people. They're tremendous books. This one is on showing the fallacies, the unreliability of Darwinian evolution. This one is my autobiography, how I became a Christian, and I'm responsible for preaching these sermons all over the world. These books would sell for $25 each if you bought them in a bookstore. We're letting you have both of them for $25, and that includes postage. Write to me, Dr. R.L. Hymers Jr., Dr. Hymers, Hymers, at the address on the top of the screen, Post Office Box 15308, Los Angeles, California 90015. Make a check out to the Baptist Tabernacle of Los Angeles or to Dr. R.L. Hymers Jr. Either way, it'll get to me, and we'll send you both these books. This is a $50 $50 offer, you get both of them for $25. That includes shipping. So please write to us. Now we're going into the service, which is now underway, and God bless you for watching.
You're in the Sunday evening service at the Baptist Tabernacle.
您在观看祝寿会幕礼拜天晚上的礼拜。Thank
Thank you for joining us on YouTube and on our website. We are so glad to have you with us.
感谢大家通过 YouTube 通过我们的视频来观看。
The sermons that are found on this website, sermonsfortheworld.com, are equipping pastors and missionaries in countries where missionaries cannot go.
我们在我们的网站上面以40日元发出去的逐字的文稿，已经传到了很多的国家地区，那些地方是很多传教士去不到的地方。
And every week, Dr. Hymers hears from people who have been blessed and even converted through the sermons that they have read on this website in their own language.
每周我们牧师都收到一些信息，告诉我们说很多朋友得到了福分，或者甚至通过读我们讲的道得到转变。
Let me tell them a story how that happened. What this is, since somebody let me sleep till 5 minutes ago, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I'll tell you a story about how that happened. One conversion happened.
有那么一位朋友转变的故事。
The sermons were up in about 25 or so languages, and maybe 15 or 20. And a man wrote to me. He said, "There are no Christian sermons in Urdu in Pakistan."
当时我们就10几种、20种语言，结果有那么一人发现说，当时的没有这巴基斯坦的尔都语。
And Dr. Hymers, I would like to translate your sermons into Urdu.
他说：“我希望帮你们
In Pakistan. Now in Pakistan, there's less than 1% Christian of any kind, Catholic, Protestant, everything.
基督徒少于1%。
Pakistani menos de 1% son cristianos.
99.5% Muslim.
99%都是穆斯林教。
99.5% musulmanes.
To become a Christian, you face getting your head cut off.
做基督徒有掉脑袋的危险。
Si eres cristiano, quizás te
So
cortan la cabeza.
this man wrote me an email, and he said, "I'd like to translate your sermons."
结果这人发了个电邮说：“我希望帮你们做翻译成尔都语。”
Escribí dijo, me gustaría traducir
He
sus
said, "I
sermones.
graduated from the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, and I know English perfectly," and so forth.
他说：“从这个苏格兰的爱丁堡的大学毕业，我懂英文是精通的。”
Graduó en la Universidad en Edinburgh, en Escocia, y sabe inglés bien.
But he said, "There's one problem.
但有一个问题，
Pero un problema.
I'm a Roman Catholic."
我是个罗马天主教徒。
Soy católico.
Well, I thought about it.
我就想了想，
Pensé de eso.
It's a pretty good big leap having a Roman Catholic translate a Baptist preacher's sermon.
一个天主教徒帮一个浸信教会的牧师做翻译很不错。
Gran cosa de que un católico traduzca del Bautista.
After I thought about it and prayed, this is a true story.
这是真实的故事。
Esto pasó.
I wrote back to him. I said, "I'll tell you what. Go ahead and do it.
我告诉你，直接翻译就可以。
Te dije, hazlo.
But don't change anything. Whether you agree with me or not, translate exactly as I write it."
但请你保证，不管你是同不同意我讲的观点，直接翻译。
No cambies nada, crea lo que tengo acuerdo o no.
So he started doing it.
结果他开始翻译。
Lo hizo.
About 3 months later, he wrote another email to me.
3个月之后，他又发了个电邮。
3 meses después me escribió otro email.
"Dear Dr. Hymers,
亲爱的海博士，
Estimado Dr. Hymers.
I'm a Baptist now."
现在我变成了浸信教徒了，
A very intelligent man.
很聪明。
He was converted by translating my sermons.
因为他翻译我们的讲的道，结果从天主教转成了浸信教徒。
Convertido por traducción de los sermones.
I was overjoyed. He said, "Now, how do I get baptized
结果他就
and
说
become a member of your church?"
我该怎么样成为你们成员，受洗成员？
¿Cómo ser bautizado el miembro de tu iglesia?
The man's in Pakistan,
他在巴基斯坦，
El hombre está en
a
Pakistán.
world away.
这个地球另一端。
So I said, I'll tell you what,
我告诉他，你这样做，
Te diré que
I will baptize you in absentia.
我就是缺席为你受洗。
te voy a bautizar aunque no estás.
I mean, when you're dealing with the mission field, you've got to do some things differently. I mean, really differently.
确实
He
在
said, "What do
传
you
道。
mean?" I said, "Well, what you do is go into your bathroom, fill your bathtub full of water, get in the bathtub, lie down, and baptize yourself in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit."
我就说，你可以照自己的这个洗澡缸里边呢，装满了水，然后为自己来施洗。
And you'll be doing it on my authority, and you'll become a member of our church 5,000 miles away.
5000英里之外，以我的名义呢，就是给你的这样权利，让自己给自己施
Le
洗。
di instrucción, métete en el baño y asume y di esto y en el nombre en la autoridad nuestra serás miembro.
So he went in the bathroom, filled the tub, baptized himself. He said, then he wrote to me, he said, "What do I do next?" I said, "Well, you got to lead your wife to Christ and baptize her." So
结
he
果
led his wife to Christ and he baptized her.
结果他就给自己施了洗以后，那么一段时间就是该下一步怎么办？他说要引导你的妻子信主，然后给她施洗。
¿Y qué hago ahora? Dijo de que bueno, entonces que tu esposa sea convertida, bautízala.
This is a very fine man.
非常优秀的一个人，
Un hombre bueno.
And he's not some kid.
并不是孩子。
Next, I said, lead your children to Christ and baptize them.
然后引导你的孩子信主，要给他们施洗。
Ahora guía a tus niños a Jesús y bautízalos a ellos.
I think 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he had 5 children. So he baptized his 5 children.
5个孩子给他们施了洗。
Bautizó a los 5 niños.
And now we have 7 members of our church who have never been here, who live in Pakistan.
现在我们教
And the
会
man translates my sermons. And beautiful job. I've had people tell me, "Oh my goodness, what a translator. Where did you get him?" I don't tell them. But I tell you, I got a Roman Catholic. Some people would be afraid, but let me tell you something. If you're afraid to do something a little out of the ordinary, you can't be a missionary. Because the mission field is not the same as Texas.
做传教士跟德萨斯州完全不同，你必要做一些事情不同寻常的事。
Si tienes miedo de hacer algo diferente, no puedes ser misionero, no es Texas.
Downtown Los Angeles is not the same as Texas.
洛杉矶就是洛杉矶市中心都跟德州不同。
Centro de Los Ángeles no es Texas.
You have to do things a little bit differently, and don't be afraid to try something new.
必须要大胆地尝试新的东西。
Tienes que hacer las cosas diferentes.
Back to you, CB. This boy is a wonderful preacher. He preaches on Sunday morning. I preach on Sunday night. If you want to hear a good preacher, you got to come back and hear him, because he's full of vinegar and stuff.
要想听到真正的宣道，充满了醋味的
I'm going to
话，
have to sit down because somebody let me sleep until 5 minutes ago, and they shouldn't have done it. But I think I can get through it. But Mr. Joselino said, "You did really well this morning." I don't think I did, but I did sleep till 5 minutes ago. And I'm not sure I can get through this sermon. I will try. Go ahead, John. John is going to succeed me as the pastor of the church.
这位年轻人约翰牧师呢，就是要我们的牧师后尘接管这个教会。
John va a tomar mi lugar como pastor en la iglesia.
When I retire, I'm not going to retire. So when I drop dead, I guess.
但海博士不会退休。
Cuando muera.
I'm a little bit old and a little bit creaky, but I'm still preaching on Sunday night. So if you want to hear me preach a real sermon, this is more of a character study, which we did this morning. This is John Sung here. This is one of the greatest men, greatest Christian men. You haven't heard of him before. You're going to hear about him tonight. This man, Dr. John Sung, is one of the greatest Christians of all time. I'm going to tell you about him a little bit.
一会儿我们就告诉大家，宋尚杰博士就是中国传教士20世纪最伟大的传教士。
Sebuah yang bisa dijalankan oleh mereka di sekarang di todos tempos.
I want to read you an email Dr. Hymers received last week from Thailand.
下面这个封电又来自泰国，是我牧师上周接到的。
Quiero leer un email de Tailandia.
And this person writes, Dear Dr. Hymers, thank you for your sermon.
这位牧师讲的说：“感谢你，海博士。
Gracias, Dr. Hymers, por su sermón.
I have learned about your life of 75 years. It is such an inspiration for me. It gives me strength and makes me strong in serving God. May God bless you. That person writing from Thailand.
他说我
That was
读到
2 years
了你
ago.
70几岁的这个整一生的经历，确实
Ese hombre
岁
de
数很大。
Tailandia dice gracias, me da inspiración su vida.
And
I'm 77 years old now. I want to get all the credit I can. Okay.
77岁，不是75岁。
77 años.
Dr. Hymers responds, Thank you very much for your kind words. I am glad my life story was a blessing to you. With love and respect, Dr. Hymers.
我感谢你这样对我们的赞赏之词，感谢我一生的生平能对你有所赐福。
Con amor respeto, Dr. Hymers.
Why don't you send Dr. Hymers an email? His email is at the top of the screen right now. Be sure to tell Dr. Hymers what country you're writing from when you write to him, even if you're writing from the United States of America.
电邮地址就在屏幕顶端。希望你发电邮给我牧师的时候，要注明你发电邮的国家，包括美国在内。
Cuando escriba de menciona el país, incluyendo si es de los Estados Unidos.
Tonight you have the opportunity to hear our pastor, Dr. Hymers, preach.
今天晚上你们有个机会听我牧师海博士给我们宣道。
Pero se pueden escuchar Dr. Hymers predicar.
Dr. Hymers has been preaching for 60 years.
海博士宣道已经60年了。
Él ha predicado 60 años.
He is an evangelist and he is a missionary to Los Angeles. Listen to him carefully as he preaches, but first, give Mr. Griffith a welcome as he comes to sing for us.
All for Jesus, all for Jesus, all my being's ransomed powers, all my thoughts and words and doings, all my days and all my hours. All for Jesus, all for Jesus, all my days and all my hours. All for Jesus, all for Jesus, all my days and all my hours.
That boy that just came up here, they thought he had meningitis. That's very serious, you know.
刚才这位朋
And
友，
so Dr. Kagan and I and Mrs. Kagan, and we were down at the hospital last night, and I am so glad to see you. I thought you were real sick.
我们昨天晚上
Playing hooky, were you?
O él estuvo muy enfermo, pensamos que tenía meningitis, pero no. Pero la doctora Kagan, doctor Kagan y el pastor fueron a verlo ayer por la noche.
很高兴见到他在我们身旁，因为昨天晚上我们以为他们得到了大脑炎。
I had quite a day yesterday. I had to go to the gym because I'm trying to lose weight and I've got to get my legs and my knees in shape. So I was at the gym and in grubby old clothes, and I got to dealing with a black boy there at the gym. And yeah, go ahead.
昨天我们去到他健身房的时候，我跟那个黑人的孩子那么谈了2钟头话。
Estaba en el gimnasio ayer y estuve hablando con un joven negro.
And he was so open, I came very close to leading him to Christ.
他这样的这个开场的心灵，几乎我引导他信了主耶稣了。
Tan abierto que casi lo guié a Jesús.
And when I looked up at the clock, I had no time to go home. So here I am in shorts, thongs, a grubby old dirty shirt that should have been washed 2 months ago. And I went to the park and saw where the girls were playing, went to the Presbyterian church where the boys were playing basketball, and they told me, Joel Duque has got meningitis. What? Oh, Joel cooks our meals up there and everything. So I went to the hospital at midnight in these grubby old clothes, and 2 or 3 guys got mad at me and had a big argument with me, because, you don't see an old white man in downtown Los Angeles in grubby clothes at midnight. I got to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't do too bad this morning, did I?
结果昨天一天时间安排得很满，晚上凌晨3点钟才睡觉，而且今天早上讲道还讲很有力。
Y aquí después del gimnasio a ver a jugadores jugando en el parque, los jóvenes jugando baloncesto, y después fui a ver a Joel y me acosté como a las 3.
Sometimes, I've been in the ministry 61 years pretty soon, and sometimes people ask me, what do you do as a minister?
我传道几乎61年的时候，很多人问我说：“你作为一个传教士，每天做什么
A veces la gente pregunta qué haces como ministro.
Well, whatever you need to do.？”
无论你需要做什么，就
Lo que
去做
sea。necesario.
Let me tell you, I love being a minister. I love it. I wouldn't do anything else in the world.
我告
I've
诉
been
我，
preaching since I was 17 years old, and I would not want to ever do anything else.
我从17岁起就开始传道，我不愿意改变我的行业，改成任何其他行业。
He predicado desde que tenía 17 y no había ninguna otra cosa en el mundo.
Now, when we go upstairs, I'm going to give you a copy of my autobiography so you can read about what my life was. It's got nice photographs in it and everything. But remember that it's kind of a downer.
记
The,
住到
the
了，
book is, because downer means it's kind of depressing, because I was come from a broken home. My dad left when I was 2. I wasn't raised in a Christian home. Everybody in my family said I was crazy to go in the ministry. I did it anyway, and I'm so glad I did. They were miserable, drunkards and everything. And I have a really happy life with a wonderful wife. Ileana, stand up. Show them who you are. That pretty girl is my wife.
这位师母，所以你看看我的一生，虽然他们一直反对我做传教士，只有他们自己的一生痛苦、
I tell
离婚
people-
家庭破碎。
Yo fui al ministerio y los otros no. Yo tuve una vida buena y una esposa bella de Ileana.
And I tell people, she's my first wife.
有些人讲说这是我的我总是告诉别人这是我第
The
一个妻
only
子，
one,
la gente mi
the only
primera
one,
única.
the only one I need. She's great.
第一个也是唯一的一个。
La única que necesito es grande.
And we wouldn't have a church without her.
Me lo-
We're going to have a great church here someday, not too far away.
没有师母的话，我们绝对不会有这间教会。以后呢，会更加庞大。
No tendríamos iglesia sin ella.
You know how I know?
我怎么知道？
¿Sabes cómo sé?
After I had my lunch this afternoon, I didn't open my Chinese fortune cookie. I opened my Chinese fortune cookie, took it out, and said, "You're going to have a great church." No, it didn't say that. No, it said, "Your dreams are going to come true." And my dream, we've been here quite a few years, is to have a great church in the inner city. And we can have it. We can have it. Why don't they do it? Because they try to build it, they try to keep older people, and they're great. Older people need to go to church. But if you're going to build a church, it has to be with young people.
建立教会必须要年轻人，像你们这样在座的年轻人，欢迎你们回到我们身边。
Si vas a hacer una iglesia, tiene que ser con jóvenes.
And we've got such wonderful people.
你看这么多美妙的年轻人回到我们身
Gente
边。
tan buenas.
Mr. Olabachi, are your parents here tonight? No. His parents are here from the Caribbean, and they were here this morning. Mr. Olabachi does a wonderful job on the camera, and my son up there, my son Robert up there, and Mr. Cerrone, and just a great, these are deacons and deacon candidates, and we have active deacons, inactive deacons. a lot of Baptist preachers say the deacons give me continual trouble. Not me. The deacons are my friends.
所以我们各式各样的朋友都是我们牧师的助手、执事，都是以他来做朋友，做他的助手。
Carlo Gattara son mis amigos.
Wonderful. This man is wonderful. I want to talk to you about him tonight. Turn with me to Ephesians chapter 1.
打开圣经以弗所书第1章。
Volte a Efesios 1.
Ephesians chapter 1, it's on page 1250. 1250 in the Schofield Study Bible.
在我们中英对照的圣经呢，不是新约299页上以弗所书1章6节。
Pagina 1207 nella Bibbia Studio Referenze Scofield.
And this is my text tonight. It says, the second half of verse 6, it says, He hath made us accepted in the beloved.
就是以弗所书1章6节的下半句，他使我们在爱子
If you
里。
would be so kind,
Efesios 1:6 nos hizo aceptado en el amado.
underline those words. He has made us accepted in the beloved.
他使我们在爱子里承蒙悦纳，这是英文里边的翻译
Nos
的
hizo
意思。
aceptado en el amado subrayado.
That's kind of my second life verse, the first one being, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me.
这是他终生警句了吗？第2句了。第1句呢，
Look up, please.
请抬头。
I've been reading the life of John Sung, the great Chinese evangelist of the 1930s.
就是1930年代中国最伟大、最知名的宣道士宋尚杰博士。我最近读了他的生平。
Stado leyendo la vida de John Sung, el evangelista de los 1930s.
I've read 5 books about John Sung and one by Dr. Sung.
而且我读了一些5本书，有关宋尚杰博士，还自己他写了一本。
He leído 5 libros de él y uno por él.
In my study of his life, I discovered several things that are parallel between his life and my life, and some things that are exact opposite.
在我研读他一生时候，发现我们之间有很多相似之处，有些呢又刚好相反。
He visto cosas paralelas igual y cosas diferentes.
And I thought this might be interesting to people who read my sermons because I've got a lot of people all over the world.
So
1.5 million people read my sermons last year on the internet, on YouTube, and on our website.
对那些在网站上面读到我们讲的我自己生平这些人，肯定会有兴趣，因为去年有150万人读到了我们讲的道。
El año pasado 1,5 millones de personas vio los sermones.
So I'm sure some of them said, who is this old man that wrote these sermons? So this kind of tells you, by telling about John Sung and telling you what's different and what's the same, you get kind of an idea of my life. By the way, if you're watching this, why don't you write to me and ask me for a copy of my autobiography?
如果你要是观看的话，希望你能够写信发信，要一份呢我的自己的自传。
Si está mirando, pide una autobiografía mía.
You get 2 books for the price of 1.
用1本书的价钱买2本书，
Los libros por el cuesto de uno.
Right? And send $25 and you'll get Dr. Kagan's book from Darwin To Design, and you'll get my book on my life story. For $25, 2 books, and that covers postage too. That's a good deal if you want to do some good reading.
所以第1本书凯根博士写的从达尔文一直到设计，而第2本书牧师的这个传记。
$25 el libro del Dr. Kagan de Darwin de diseño y entonces el libro del pastor.
Why are we having moon cakes tonight? Why are we celebrating the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival?
我们今天为什么要庆祝中秋节呢？
¿Por qué celebramos la fiesta de medio otoño?
Well, one of the reasons is the Chinese are the strongest part of our church.
第一个原因呢，就是因为华人在我们教会里面占很大一部分。
Una parte es los chinos son la parte más fuerte de nuestra iglesia.
Becoming the largest part, and eventually the Chinese will be the main group of people in our church, although we have several other ethnic groups.
虽然我们教会是多种族的教会，但最终呢，我们希望就是华人成为最主要的一部分。
Y eventualmente será el grupo más grande, aunque tenemos muchos grupos étnicos.
I became very interested in the Chinese people at the age of 19.
我19岁的时候对华人很感兴趣。
Fui interesando a los chinos a los 19.
I read the life of this man and also Dr. James Hudson Taylor.
我读到了这个宋尚杰的故事，同时还有这戴德生的故事。
Y la vida de este hombre y también de James Hudson Taylor.
I was 19 years old, and and I became very interested in missions.
结果19岁的时候想呢就向华人去传道，
19 años de edad estaba interesado en misiones.
And I dedicated my life to become a missionary to the Chinese.
结果把一生献出去做向华人传道去台湾的。
Dediqué mi vida a ser misionero a los chinos.
That same year, at the age of 19, I joined the First Chinese Baptist Church of Los Angeles.
结果19岁的时候我去的是就是罗省第一华人基金会。
Ese mismo año me junté en la iglesia china bautista.
I did many jobs in that church. I preached in the junior church. I taught the junior Sunday school. I taught the training union, royal ambassadors. We took the boys, all the young Chinese boys, to Emmanuel Presbyterian Church to play basketball. That's how I knew about that church. And the boys go there still. I've been going there for over 45 years to that church to play basketball.
做了很多其他的事情，包括就是去黎马那里长老会里面打篮球，所以现在年轻人去那里打篮球就是以前我知道的。
Hacía muchas cosas en esa iglesia bautista y también llevaba a los jóvenes a jugar baloncesto en Emmanuel Presbyterian porque ya íbamos ahora.
I was ordained at the First Chinese Baptist Church. I received my training from the pastor, Dr. Timothy Lin.
我在第一华人基金会那里面接受了训练，而且林道亮博士给我施洗。
Fui ordenado por mi pastor, Dr. Timothy Lin.
Dr. Lin was from China, from old China. He didn't come to the United States till he was in his 40s.
林道亮博士40多岁才从中国大陆来到美国。
De viejo China no vino acá hasta los 40.
He earned a PhD from a rabbinical school, and he was an expert in Old Testament.
他是一个旧约的这个语言专家。
Título de doctor de una escuela rabínica.
He taught Hebrew and Greek and church history and theology and what else? Everything at Bob Jones University in the graduate department.
他曾经在 Bob Jones 大学的这个研究生院里面教过这希腊文，还有古希腊伯来文，而且教了其他神学理论。
Enseñaba griego, ejercía hebreo en el Bob Jones.
He baptized me.
他给我受洗。
Me bautizó.
And he was a man that taught me most of what I know.
他正是这位教会我如何引导教会的人。
Me enseñó la mayoría de lo que yo sé.
I'll show you a bunch of pictures of him upstairs. He was one of the translators of the New American Standard Bible Old Testament.
他就是新美国标准版本旧约那部分的一个翻译者之一。
Uno de los traductores del Viejo Testamento
And he went on to become the president of China Evangelical Seminary in Taipei, Taiwan.
后来最后呢，他就担任了就是台湾台北市的这个华神神学院里面的院长。
Y fue presidente del seminario en Taipei, Taiwan.
And that's the way I became very familiar with the Chinese evangelicals.
所以我对这华人的福音派了解很深。
Y así pude conocer los chinos evangélicos.
The evangelical Christianity in China is the most interesting thing that's happening in the entire world from the standpoint of Christianity.
基督教的发展是世界上最有趣的一个地区，整个的世界基督教。
La cosa más interesante que está pasando en el mundo es los cristianos chinos.
And my pastor would have been delighted. He passed away a few years ago. I wish he was still living. He'd be very happy because this growth of Christianity in China is the most explosive revival in the history of Christianity since the first century.
中国大陆这个复兴就是从第1世纪以后最大的一次大规模的复兴发展最快。
El avivamiento en China es la cosa más grande desde el primer siglo en la cristiandad.
Now, I'm not criticizing the government of China. I've had some people get mad at me for saying this. But obviously, they are not Christians. They are Marxist.
中国共产党他们当政的中国政府呢，不是基督
The
教。
government is Marxist.
No estoy criticando al gobierno de China, pero son marxistas.
And the Christians have gone through a great deal of persecution.
那里的基督教都经受了很多的迫
Oh, you
害。
know about
Los
that?
cristianos pasaron mucha persecución.
What's your name?
My name is Joyce.
Joy. Do you come from People's Republic recently?
I came from Hong Kong, but I heard about China.
Okay. Is what I'm saying correct, that the government caused a lot of problems for Chinese?
Yeah, the church got burned down recently.
Do you have relatives in China? Wow.
这位女孩子
I would ask you to come here and speak, but that'll be on the internet, and you don't want to put your face on the internet. No, I understand that. But you see, China, the number of Christians. Oh, I'm so glad you came. You should have talked to me upstairs.
上楼以后我们谈谈。
It's a textbook case.
这完全是属于课本式的一个例子。
Ja, dice de que sí, de Hong Kong, de que en China aquí en las iglesias.
We all know. I mean, ministers and missionaries all understand that Christianity is in real trouble here in the West.
人人都知道，在西方世界的基督教现在正在走下坡路，几乎灭亡。
Todos sabemos de que la cristiandad está en problemas acá en el oeste.
What is all that running up there? So, you've seen it in the newspapers. You got 300 Catholic priests, and they were pedophiles, and then you hear about the Southern Baptists are losing 20,000 people every. Is it 20,000? 200,000, not 20,000. 200,000 a year are leaving the Southern Baptists. That's the largest Protestant denomination.
大家都听说了头版头条是天主教里面那些
And Christianity is drying up. A lot of the Christianity on television is crazy.
很多电视上面那个传教家都是疯狂，那些人发疯的。
Los bautistas disminuyen a 200,000 cada año y la cristiandad en la televisión está loca.
And church attendance in the United States is rapidly drying up. But in China, it's exactly the opposite.
在美国参加教会的人越来越少，在中国呢反而越来越多。
Yendo a la iglesia aquí está secándose, pero en China es lo opuesto.
Dr. Kagan estimates that there are 700 conversions to Christianity in China every hour, 24 hours a day. 700 an hour, 24 hours a day. Huge.
凯根博士这个统计学家，他这样计算，就是在中国大陆转变成基督徒的人数的速度是每小时700人。
Dr. Kagan piensa que hay 700 conversiones cada hora en China, 24 horas al día.
Whenever I'm discouraged and stuff, I like to read something about China because there God is moving today.
我每次心神沮丧的时候，总是读一读基督教在中国大陆的情形，那里面非常鼓舞人心。
Cuando estoy desanimado, me gusta leer de China porque Dios está moviéndose ahí.
This man is largely responsible.
而宋尚杰正是为一切的发展奠下基础。
He was born in a Christian family.
他出生在一个基督教庭家。
Nació en hogar cristiano.
I was not.
我不是。
Yo no.
My father was a salesman. Dr. Sung's father was a Methodist pastor in China.
我父亲是一个推销员，但是宋博士的这个父亲是一位牧师。
Mi padre era vendedor y el padre del Dr. Sung era metodista pastor en China.
Dr. Sung's father wanted him to be a minister, prayed for him to be a minister.
宋尚杰的父亲呢，为他做祷告，希望他成为传道士。
El padre del Dr. Sung quería que fuera ministro.
My father did not want me to go into the ministry and thought I was very foolish. To want to be a missionary to the Chinese.
我父亲不想我做传教士，以为像我就这样去向华人传道是愚昧的。
Mi padre no quería que fuera al ministerio y era tonto de que fuera a ser misionero los chinos.
Dr. Sung was a brilliant student.
宋尚杰一开始就是聪颖的学生。
Dr. Sung era gran estudiante.
Near genius.
几乎是天才。
Un genio.
And he earned the first PhD that was earned by a Chinese from China in this country. This man earned the first PhD in chemistry. Chemistry.
宋尚杰博士在美国得到第一个博士学位的一个华人，得到的是化学博士。
El primer título de doctor en los Estados Unidos a un chino fue de química.
Doctor, it's too cold in here. Mr. Griffith, will you turn that down a little bit? Too cold. He earned his PhD in 21 months.
他整个的博士就是博士学位21个月，2年之内就拿下来了。
Hizo su título de doctor en 21 meses.
Here in America.
在美国得到第一位博士。
Acá en este país.
I was a very poor student.
我呢，相反是一个很糟糕的学生。
I dropped out of high school, struggled to finish it.
结果中学辍学了，大学也辍学。
Batí con la secundaria.
Went on to fail in Bible school.
然后 读圣经学院又辍学。
Fai en la scuola biblica.
Dr. Sung was always a brilliant student. I was always a numbskull.
宋尚杰博士总是他班或者是第一个或者前几名。
Dottor Sung sempre grande studiante, io no.
He earned his bachelor's degree cum laude. He earned his master's degree in chemistry in 9 months.
他这个学士学位呢是优等毕业生，同时呢在9个月之内拿下了硕士。
Subacciato 9 meses in cum laude e la maestria 9 meses.
And his PhD in chemistry in 21 months.
21个月之内的挣得了化学博士头衔。
Dottorato in chimica in 21 meses.
While I was a hopelessly poor student until after my conversion.
直到我转变之后呢，一直都是个劣等生。
Io fui male studiante hasta che fui convertito.
I failed in high school, and I also failed the first time I went to college.
而且呢，海博士说，我自己的中学呢，而且大学都是辍学的。
Fai in la secondaria también la primera vez che fui al colegio.
Dr. Sung was converted while he was in seminary.
宋博士是在神学院里面第1年的时候，他得到了转变。
Dottor Sung convertito in seminario.
I was converted when I went to college the second time after failing the first time.
我呢，就是在第2次去的百欧了读书的时候呢，就得到转变。
Yo fui convertido la segunda vez cuando después de fallar la primera.
I was converted at 10:30 in the morning on September the 28th, 1961, at Biola University.
海博士就是在百欧了大学里面礼堂制的，就是1961年9月28号早上10点半时候得到转变。
Fui convertido a las 10:30 de la mañana en el 28 de septiembre en el 61 en la Universidad de
I
Iowa.
had a completely wrong view of Christian conversion. I thought I had to do some great thing for God, and then He would accept me.
当时我对整个的转变的概念完全错了，以为为神要做出个伟事之后才能被神接受得到转变。
Pensé mal de Dios que tenía que hacer algo grande y me iba a aceptar.
I couldn't do anything great for God. I couldn't even do anything small for God. I couldn't even do my classes in Bible college.
我为神做不成任何事，连读书都读不成。
No podía hacer nada grande por Dios.
And it was while I was failing in college that I realized that salvation is a gift from Jesus, not something that you earn.
从这个大学的读书的失败中间，我意识到，就是一切的这个救恩都是一种礼物，是神赐给我们的礼物。
Y en fallando yo vi de que la salvación es un don, un regalo, no algo que tú mereces.
My wife's favorite verse in the Bible is John 3:16.
我妻子最喜欢的这个经句就是约翰3章16节，
Verso favorito de mi esposa en la Biblia, Juan 3:16.
which says, For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
也就是神
It's a
爱世。
gift. It's a gift. You don't earn it. You don't. You know, you could study Buddhism, you could study Islam, and the Quran or the Tao Te Ching or one of the other religion books, and you can become a member of that religion by studying the books. Tao Te Ching, have you read it?
你可
The
以
Tao. You like Lao Tzu?
你可以读老子的道
Lao
德
Tzu sees some of the truth. Yes, he sees some truth. I was quite interested in Lao Tzu when I was studying in the seminary, as was Dr. Sung.
宋尚杰对老子很感兴趣，而且我当时读神学院也对老子有感兴趣。
Puedes aprender de otras religiones, pero no puedes aprender cómo ser cristiano.
Lao Tzu sees it from a natural man's perspective. Without the Bible, he perceives in nature some of the things that are true in Christianity, and that makes it quite interesting. And some of the students of Lao Tzu become Christians and have insight from both religions.
所以很多的老子的学生呢，或者是道教的学生，最后成为了基督徒，因为对双方面都有相通的地方。
Algunos estudiantes de ahí son interesados y quizás se hacen cristianos.
Dr. Sung studied the Tao Te Ching. He studied it a lot. In fact, he became a Taoist at one time, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Dr. Sung was converted at the end of his first year at Union Theological Seminary in New York.
这宋博士是在纽约市协和神学院里面读书第1年将近结束的时候得到了转变。
Dr. Song fue convertido después del primer año en el seminario Union en Nueva York.
I was converted during a chapel service, a preaching of Dr. Charles J. Woodbridge at Biola College, now University, as I said, September 28th, 1961.
而海博士呢，就是当伍德布里奇博士当时在这个百欧勒大学里面的礼堂里面宣道的时候，是1961年9月28号那天。
Yo fui convertido en el 61 escuchando a Woodbridge en Biola.
Woodbridge, not two words. Woodbridge, one word. Woodbridge.
伍德布里奇
My Chinese name is Ha Lo Ba.
和罗伯。
I started to learn, that's Cantonese.
这是广东话，当时他们的教会里面讲广东话。
The interesting thing was I was a member of a Cantonese church for 24 years.
结果他在讲广东话那个教会里面待了24年。
Fui miembro de una iglesia cantonesa por 24 años China.
I don't know if some of you don't know that. There are completely different languages in China. Many of them.
方言很多很多。
Hay muchos idiomas completamente diferentes en China.
The big ones are Mandarin and Cantonese and some others. Hinghua was Dr. Sung's dialect. At the Chinese church, I told you Dr. Lin was a brilliant scholar and so forth. He became the pastor. The church went up to 3,000 people. Great revival for an American church, unheard of. And in that revival and in his years there as a pastor, he never preached a sermon in Mandarin. He was Mandarin speaking.
结果林道亮博士当时带领这华人教会里面，他讲的是国语普通话，但是他们整个的教会的成员都是讲广东话。
Nunca predicó en Mandarin el Dr. Lin en la iglesia china esa.
I never heard my pastor speak in Chinese.
我从来没有听我牧师
I
用中
mean,
文
preach a sermon in Chinese.
用中文来宣道，他是用英文宣
Nunca
道。
lo vi predicar en chino.
He always preached in English with a Cantonese translation because he couldn't speak Cantonese. I mean, he could speak, conversational, but not to preach a sermon.
所以牧师呢，当时林道亮博士就是用英文来宣道，然后做翻译成广东话。
Podía hablar un poco cantonés, pero no suficiente para predicar, por eso tenía traductor.
I wanted desperately to go as a missionary to Hong Kong or to Taiwan, but I couldn't do it.
当时我非常想去台湾啊或者香港做传教士，但是没办到。
Yo quería ir a Hong Kong y a Taiwán, pero no pude.
I will give you a copy of my autobiography, and then you'll read about all that.
我的自传在上面，一会儿给你一本。
Te doy copia de la autobiografía y leerás.
Strangely, after wanting to be desperately to be a missionary in Hong Kong or Taiwan or maybe in the mainland, but I have never been to China.
很奇怪，就是我这样想去，就一直没有去过大陆中国。
Es raro, pero nunca he estado en China.
Maybe we'll go. I keep promising my wife we'll go and see the Great Wall and so forth.
所以他总是保证师母说，有那么一天他们要不到长城非好汉。
Y mi esposa que quizás iremos y veremos el gran moro.
But recently, God has showed me, I believe, how we can have great inner city churches
但最近呢，神告诉我
in
们
America.
如何在这么建立一个城市中心的教会。
Dios me ha mostrado cómo podemos tener grandes iglesias en las ciudades centrales.
I'll tell you about that later.
一会儿我再告诉你，
It has a great deal to do with the Chinese.
这是跟华人有关系的。
Tiene mucho que hacer con los chinos.
Now, the parallels that I was surprised when I read this man's life, he's like my brother.
好像就是我兄弟啊，我读到宋尚杰这个经历。
Es como que si fuera mi hermano este.
Many things, when he was in seminary, happened to him that was exactly what happened to me.
他在神学院里面经历那个经历，很多都是我亲身经历过的。
Mucho lo que pasó a él es lo que pasó a mí.
When he was attending the Liberal Union Seminary, these parallels between what happened to me and what happened to him became very evident.
所以当他在读自由派那个纽约协和神学院的时候，他经历的跟我经历的完全一样。
Cuando fue convertido, lo que pasó a él y a mí es semejante, es claro.
Like Dr. Sung, I became very interested during this period in evangelizing the Chinese people.
就像那段期间，他对向华人传道很感兴趣。
Tal como Dr. Sung estaba interesado en evangelizar a los chinos.
After reading a book on the life of James Hudson Taylor and the journal of John Wesley, I felt that God was calling me to preach as a missionary in China.
当我读过了戴德生的传记或者约翰卫斯理的日记之后，我以为神在召唤我去向华人传道。
Después de leer de James Hudson Taylor como misionero, pensé que Dios me está llamando a mí también.
I began studying the calligraphy and the Cantonese translation in 1960.
60年，我开始学中文广东话。
Empecé a estudiar el chino en el 60.
I broke off my study of Chinese when I started studying in the Los Angeles City College.
但我进入了洛杉矶社区大学读书的时候，我就放下了中文的学习。
Dejé estudiar chino cuando fui al City College.
In January 1961, I joined the First Chinese Baptist Church of Los Angeles.
结果61年1月份的时候，我加入了罗省第一华人基金会。
En 61 me junté en la iglesia china bautista de Los Ángeles.
I was 19 years old.
19岁。
Tiene 19 años de edad.
I had a very heavy schedule during those years, and I wasn't a good student either.
当时我是非常沉重的时间安排，所以学生也不好。
Mucha clase y no era buen estudiante.
I was teaching Sunday school, preaching every Sunday in the junior church, and serving many hours and other duties on Friday and Saturday at the Chinese Baptist Church.
当时我除了这个全时上班以后，晚上读夜校，周末的时候引导这个华人的这个主日学校的教他们的幼童的班。
Y enseñaba en la escuela dominical y a la iglesia con los jóvenes y mucho trabajo en la iglesia.
I was taking a full load of college at night. All my college work was done at night.
全部的大学的学科都是晚上读的。
Mucha clase de noche.
When I was writing my autobiography earlier last year and this year, I realized I was working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, without a break.
当我写自传的时候，突然间意识到，当时我是每天工作16钟头，毫无休息。
Trabajaba 16 horas al día, cada 7 días sin descanso.
My grade point average went up, and I was doing fine. And I became interested in teaching young people how to study. That's what they don't know. They're not taught that. It wasn't that I was stupid, it was that I didn't know how to study.
当时并不是因为我智商不够，而是因为我没有这个学习的习惯。
Fui interesado en enseñar entonces los jóvenes cómo estudiar. No era de que era estúpido, pero no sabía cómo
So I
estudiar.
had Dr. Kagan sit down and prepare 14 points on how to study. And if you follow some of those points, you don't have to follow all of them. If you follow just a few of them, your grade point average will go up a grade point. We teach that sheet every service because I believe exchange students need, and from a non-Christian, English-speaking background, need to have somebody teach them how to study. And we do that every Sunday morning and Sunday night for a few minutes here in the church.
所以我们教会我们很强调，所以每次礼拜都要强调提出那么几分钟，让你们如何学习，按照这14点这指南去做。
Como los estudiantes cómo estudiar cada domingo.
When Chinese mothers find out their children are making better grades since they came here, they encourage them to come.
他们就来到我们教会以后呢，按照这个指南去做，他们学习成绩会提高。
Cuando la madre china ve que los niños hacen mejores notas, entonces los anima a que vengan.
I would be lost if I hadn't learned how to study.
如果没有学会如何学习，我就完全不会继续下去。
Hubiera sido perdido si no hubiera aprendido cómo estudiar.
I was working full-time during the day, attending college at night.
白天全是工作，晚上读书。
Estaba estudiando de la noche, trabajando en el día.
I worked and studied 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for more than 10 years.
所以10年
With
期
no
间，
break, no vacation.
没有度假。
Trabajaba 16 horas al día, 7 días a la semana sin vacación.
Here's how I became a good student.
后来我成为好学生。
De esta manera fui buen estudiante.
Dr. Sung, of course, was a good student from his childhood because his father was a Methodist preacher and taught him how to study.
所以因为他父亲是殉道宗的宣道士的宋尚杰博士，从小就是好学生。
Dr. Sung era buen estudiante porque el padre le enseñó.
My father left when I was 2 years old. I never lived with him again.
而我父亲呢，就是2岁的时候，他就已经离家出走，再也没有跟他同
Mi padre se fue cuando tenía 2 años y nunca lo vi con él después.
I went to 22 schools before I graduated from high school.
在我中学毕业之前，已经转学20次，就是搬来搬家。
Fue 22 escuelas antes de graduar de la secundaria.
With all that moving and all that confusion, I never learned to study until I was in college.
这种搬来搬去的混乱，直到我读大学的时候才开始定下心来读书。
Nunca aprendí a estudiar hasta que estuve en colegio.
It seemed like an impossible thing to go to college for me.
对我来讲，读大学是不可能的事儿。
Parecía imposible ir a una universidad.
Crushing, impossible.
简直是不可能，不可想象。
Algo que no se podía hacer.
And then I was watching the Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon has it now. This is back in 1960. And Richard Nixon was the guest that night.
结果就看電視上，有一天晚上，他们采访尼克松在電視上出现。
Estamos mirando la televisión la tarde por la noche y Nixon estuvo ahí.
I didn't know anything about Nixon. He was the vice president under Eisenhower as president in the 1950s.
50年代，艾森豪威尔做总统的时候，尼克松是副总统。
Vicepresidente de Eisenhower.
So I was listening to him on the Tonight Show. It was much more intellectual than it is now. It has a funny side to it, but it also had an intellectual side. And Nixon told the man that was running the program, Jack Parr was his name, he told him, Jack Parr said to him, "What are the 5 most important books you've ever read?"
结果这采访人呢，Jack Parr 就问这个尼克松，当时是 Tonight Show 上面就讲，你最喜欢的5本书哪5本？
En un programa del Tonight le preguntó Jack Park cuáles son los 5 más importantes libros que has leído.
Oh, I was very interested. I leaned forward.
结果我总是仔细
Presté
听。
atención.
And Nixon clicked off. Nixon was a great reader. He was constantly reading.
尼克松
He
是读
clicked off 5 books. And the last one, he said, "This is the most inspiring book I ever read. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale."
结果尼克松列举了几本书，中间有那么一本就是皮尔博士写的《正面思维的力量》。
El poder del pensamiento positivo es más importante de Norman Vincent Peale.
Now, Dr. Peale was a very liberal minister. By liberal, what I mean is he didn't preach the Bible. He didn't preach salvation by Christ. He preached psychology.
皮尔博士讲到呢，他对讲的旧文上面就讲的是心理上面的解释，根本不是靠基督得救。
No predicaba la Biblia, pero en vez predicaba psicología.
I didn't know that. I was only a kid.
当时我的孩子不理解这点，
No sabía eso, era joven.
And so I didn't know that. I read his book. I bought it, read it. Nixon said it helped him. I thought if it helped him, maybe it'll help me. And so I read it.
结果买了这本书读了。
Compré el libro porque si lo ayudó a él, quizás me ayudará a mí.
One chapter in Dr. Peale's book made a great impression on me.
有一章书对我影响很深。
Un capítulo de Dr. Peale me ayudó mucho.
In one of the chapters, he said to memorize Philippians 4:13.
结果他建议，就是一章书里面建议，就是腓立比书4章13节要背诵下来。
Dijo, memoriza Filipenses 4:13.
It says, "I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me."
这是神的保证，说我靠那加给我力量的，凡事都能做。
Yo todo lo puedo en Cristo que me fortalece.
Dr. Peale said, recite that when you first get up in the morning, recite it the last thing before you go to bed at night. Say it before every class that you take. And so I did. I did do that. I still repeat that verse every night right before I go to bed, still to this day,
皮尔
60 some years later.
皮尔博士这本书说，每次你上床前或者起来就背诵这些经文，靠那加给我力量，凡事都能做。上课之前要背诵这些经句。
Yo dijo dice verso por la mañana, por la noche antes de acostarte, cuando te despiertes y todavía lo hago.
By meditating on that verse every day, I got strength from God to work full time, 8 hours a day in the daytime at the Division of Corporations in the State Building, and take a full load at college at night, and work all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the Chinese church, and I did it well.
结果靠这句话的鼓励，对他的沉思，每天思考神对这个保证。结果在这全时的工作，晚上读书，然后周末、礼拜5、礼拜6、礼拜
I was blown away.
Siguiendo ese verso hice bien en el colegio y me asombró.
as I discovered that it was actually true. I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me.
最终发现我确实能靠加给我力量的基督，凡事都能做。
Me dije que todo lo puedo en Cristo que me fortalece.
I went on to earn 3 doctor's degrees
接下去我得到3个博士学位，
Hice 3 títulos doctor.
and write 18 books.
Sí,
Write
sí.
18 books and start 2 churches from scratch.
建立了2间教会，
18 libros y 2 iglesias del principio.
白手起家建立了2个教会。
Please do not think I'm comparing myself to this man, because I'm just saying there's these parallels and some differences. Nobody is compared to this man.
没有人能够比得上宋尚杰博士。
No piense que yo soy igual que a este hombre, porque ese hombre no hay nadie semejante como él.
I believe Dr. John Sung to be the greatest Christian of the 20th century.
我认为是宋尚杰博士20世纪最伟大的基督徒，
Dr. Song fue el cristiano más grande del siglo XX.
Greater than Pope John Paul II, greater than Billy Graham, greater than anybody else in the 20th century stands this man. Why? Because he led more people to Christ. He changed the course of Christianity in Southeast Asia, and he prepared the Christian churches in China to go through the Cultural Revolution and the programs of the communists. And that, because of him, more than any other person, the Chinese church is the fastest growing church in the entire world tonight.
宋尚杰博士超过了教皇，超过了葛培理，因为他赢得的人的灵魂最多，他建立了整个中国教会在中国大陆的基础，结果使得基督教能经过文化大革命。
Por causa del Dr. Song, la iglesia china es la iglesia que crece más en el mundo de hoy.
Now, this young girl comes from China. I don't know you, but is that about right? Is that about right what I'm saying?
Yeah, I came from Hong Kong.
You came from Hong Kong. That's a great place. I liked it better when it was British, but I like it pretty well now. I'm going to go there. I am going to go to Hong Kong.
以后
I am.
牧师要去香
And
港
I'll
看，
remember you when I get there. I'm going to take my wife there. We're going to go there.
去了香港里面，我会记得你。
Amen.
Va a llevar la esposa, pero va a ir a Hong Kong.
China is a very exciting place.
中国却是一个令人兴奋的一个地方，
China es un lugar muy excitante.
Great people.
很好的民族，
Gente grande.
Great students.
很优秀的学生。
Grandes estudiantes.
Within the next few years, it will be the leading nation in the world.
今后几年之后，就成为世界领先的民族。
El próximo año será la nación más grande en el mundo.
It will replace America as #1 nation in the world.
以后会代替美国成为第一国家。
Tomará el lugar de los Estados Unidos.
You like that, huh?
你很喜欢
Well,
这样
okay, you like it. I would like America to be good, but gosh,
我希
I'm
望
not going to get into that.
但是我告诉你，现在不能。
America's got a lot of problems because you've got it tearing apart.
太多的问题了，美国
América
No
tiene muchos
comment.
problemas.
No comment.
最后要自杀。
The main problem in America is Christianity is going. I read something very interesting about China just a few weeks ago. The communist government in China says the reason that America became the #1 nation is because of its Christian background. That's what the communists say. And they deliberately, they could be a lot harder on the Christians there, but they want the Christianity and to a certain degree. They even have a communist church called the Three Self Church. But the real Christians don't go to that. They go to the house churches because the house churches are the real churches.
所以共产党口中都这样讲，说美国之所以伟大，就是因为他们基督教背景，所以他们现在允许基督教一部分，所以有了我们自己3次教会，共产党承认的教会。
Y asombrantemente el gobierno chino dijo de que el poder de los americanos es de que antes empezó por eran las iglesias.
Amen. Let me tell you one thing the Chinese in China, the Chinese young people are going to do. They call it back to Jerusalem.
在中国大陆基督徒要回到耶路撒冷，有这么一个运动。
Y los chinos siguen hablando de regresar a Jerusalén.
You know about back to Jerusalem?
返回耶路撒冷的运动。
Do you know about it?
你
Okay.
听说没有？
Many of the Chinese young people are planning to take the gospel back through the Muslim lands.
很多华人基督教徒年轻人，他们就把福音要经过这个穆斯林教国家，回到耶路撒冷的路上，
Till they
Muchos
get,
quieren llevar la cristiandad a través del país
till they
musulmanes.
get back to Jerusalem.
最后回到耶路撒冷这
Que
个沿路，
regresen a
They're
Jerusalén.
pretty tough kids.
非常有勇气的
Bastante
年轻人。
fuertes.
Heavenly Father, help them to do so in Jesus' name. Amen.
天父，我们祈求他们能成功。
Padre, ayúdalos que lo hagan en nombre de Jesús. Amén.
So I graduated from college, Cal State LA, with an A- average in English.
结果在 Cal State LA 就是毕业的时候 A-， 一般的这个平均成绩 A-。
Gradué de Cal State LA en A-.
But I didn't have any money to go to seminary.
结果没有钱读好的神学院，
No tenía dinero ir al seminario.
I worked and I saved and I lived on Skid Row in a cheap apartment, saving money for seminary.
结果住的贫民窟，为了省钱去读神学院。
Viví en un barrio pobre ahorrando dinero para el seminario.
Now, I was a Southern Baptist, so if I went to the Southern Baptist Seminary, the denomination paid most of the tuition.
所以，如果我是美南浸信会的手下那个教会呢，去读他们的美南浸信会的神学院，就会减钱。
Era solo niño bautista y si ibas al seminario solo niño
I
bautista,
did
le
not,
pagamos la
I
mayoría.
did not want to attend the Southern Baptist Seminary because I knew it was liberal.
因为我知道美南浸信会他们神学院是非常自由派的，那不信圣经。
No quise ir al seminario solo niño bautista porque sabía que era liberal.
We're not talking about political liberalism. We're talking about many professors don't believe in God.
我们讲的不是这政治上面的自由派，而是那个教授在神学院里面不相信神。
Pero muchos de esos profesores no creían en Dios.
Almost all the professors don't believe the Bible
几乎全部
to
的
be the
教授
word of God.
都不相信圣经是神的道，
So
La
it's,
mayoría no creen en la Biblia, la palabra de Dios.
so it's a very dark place to be, but I had to go there because I didn't have enough money to go to a good seminary.
但我必须要去那里面读书，因为我没有钱就读好一些神学院。
No tuve suficiente dinero para ir a un seminario bueno.
So I had to complete a 3-year Master of Divinity degree at the liberal seminary.
结果在这个自由派神学院里面读完了3年的硕士学位。
Tuve que hacer maestría en el seminario liberal 3 años.
The Southern Baptist Seminary was in Marin County, north of San Francisco.
就是三藩市北部的马林县。
El seminario estaba en Marin County, cerca de San Francisco.
Dr. Lin said it wouldn't hurt me to go to a liberal school because I knew what to believe. He was right in a way.
林道亮博士说，在那里面，这自由派神学院不会伤害你，他某种意义上是正确的。
Doctor Lin dijo que no me iba a dañar porque sabía que creer.
It didn't hurt me. It almost killed me, but it did not hurt me.
几乎杀死了我，但是没有伤害我。
No me dañó, pero casi me mató.
He meant well by sending me there, but I don't think he was right.
他本来是应该他用意是很好的。
Que tenía buen propósito, no creo que estaba correcto.
I came very close to leaving the ministry.
我几乎到了离开传教事业的边缘。
Llegué cerca de dejar el ministerio.
And for one period of time, I gave up the ministry for 3 days.
这个有那么段期间，3天之内。
Why only 3 days? Well, how can you quit doing something that's so much good as being a pastor?
这个你说怎么能够辞职3天呢？3天我放弃了传教。
Dejé el ministerio 3 días.
Dr. Sun went to the Union Theological Seminary in New York, the most liberal seminary, much worse even than the Southern Baptist I went to.
宋尚杰博士参加是纽约协和神学院，比这个美南基金会更加自由派。
Doctor Sun fue al seminario de Union, peor que el mío.
You have heard, I'm sure, that some seminary professors say that God is dead.
大届教授们常常你们听说神已经死了。
¿Cierto que ha escuchado que algunos profesores dicen que Dios está muerto?
That the Bible is full of errors,
圣经里面充满了错误。
Que la Biblia tiene errores.
that Jesus did not die on the cross to pay for our sins,
耶稣没有死在十字架上来偿还我们的罪恶。
De que Jesús no murió en la cruz para pagar por nuestros pecados.
that Jesus did not rise from the dead.
教授说，他们耶稣根本没有复活。
De que Jesús no resucitó de los muertos.
Don't tell anybody.
不要告诉
Everybody already knows.
人人都知道。
Ya todos saben.
That has been the destruction of the churches in America.
这就是美国教
And that's what they were teaching in the seminary in New York, in Union Seminary.
这就是在纽约他们的协和神学院里面教的是宋尚节读到那些东西。
Eso ha sido destrucción de la iglesia en los Estados Unidos.
John Sung found that every problem was discussed in the light of human reason, humanism, not Christianity.
结果宋尚节发现了他们从人的角度，从这个人文学角度来解释一切。
Vio de que todo es discutido con humanismo y no cristiandad.
Everything in the Bible that was not justified scientifically was rejected.
结果任何没有通过科学方法来证明的东西都是被抛弃的。
Todo en la Biblia que no se podía ver científicamente era rechazado.
The book of Genesis was held to be unhistorical.
而且他们认为这创世纪没有任何
Didn't
历
really
史根据。
happen.
Libro de Génesis no era histórico.
Belief in the miracles of the Bible unscientific and untrue.
相信奇迹呢不符合科学，不真实。
Creencia en la Biblia era no científico, no verdad.
Jesus was presented as a great man,
耶稣被当作一个伟大的人，
Decían de que Jesús era gran hombre,
but not the Son of God.
但并非神的儿子，
pero no el Hijo de Dios.
He did not die in our place on the cross.
没有替我们死在石架上，
Dijeron que no murió en nuestro lugar en
He
la
died
cruz.
as a mistake.
他是一个错误，死在是
Murió
偶
como
然，
error.
Prayer was rejected as worthless.
而且他们把这祷告当作毫无价值。
Oración ha rechazado sin valor.
And if one dissented from those views, he became an object of pity.
只要你与这个理论他们的看法不同的话，你就成为这个怜悯的对象。
Y si uno no estaba en acuerdo, entonces se burlaban.
Those were things that I was taught repeatedly for 3 years in the liberal Southern Baptist Seminary.
这就是宋尚节不是读到了，而且我在神学院里面也是这样3年读的这东西，
And so,
Enseñaron eso en el seminario liberal.
so was he.
bautista.
也就是宋尚节博士接触的
You say, well, these are things that people in society believe. Absolutely.
是世俗界他们都是这样相信这个东西。
Cosas que la gente de la sociedad cree, sí.
Protestant liberalism is nothing more than the ideas of lost people brought into the seminary.
所以新教自由派不过就是世俗他们的观点带到教会里边。
Liberalismo es la idea de la gente perdida en el seminario.
I did not lose my faith in the seminary, but I lost my hope. I thought there's no hope. This is what the Baptists believe. I cannot live like this. So I lost my hope.
我在神学院里面没有失去我的信念，但失去了希望。
No perdí la fe, pero perdí la esperanza de que
Dr. Sung lost his childhood faith.
结果呢，宋尚节呢，他失去了他的这种，
Dr. Song perdió su fe de joven,
Which he heard his father preach when he was in China.
因为他小时候听他的父亲宣道，
el cual escuchó su padre predicar
Dr.
cuando estaba
Sung
en China.
began studying Buddhism,
结果失去了儿童时期的信念，开始去读
Empezó a estudiar budismo,
佛教、
Taoism,
道教，
el taoísmo,
and wondered if the teaching of Lao Tzu might lead him to peace.
以为老子的说教可能引导他得到安宁。
preguntando que si Lao Tzu así le iba a traer paz.
He translated Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching
甚至将老子《道德经》翻译成英文，
Tradujo el Tao Te Ching
and read a paper on that Chinese philosopher in one of his classes.
并在全班面前读了他有关中国道教的研究的一段论文。
y un artículo de ese filósofo chino de unas
He
clases.
started chanting Buddhist scriptures
甚至
alone in his room.
在宿舍里面独自他们的诵读佛经，
Eso, recitando de las escrituras de
Hoping through
budistas,
self-denial he might obtain the salvation of which the Buddha spoke.
就希望能够通过自我否认来达到菩萨所能应许的解脱。
de que quizás si se negaba iba a encontrar la paz que hablaba el Buda.
But he remained very conflicted and confused.
但他内心充满了冲突，充满了混乱。
Pero estuvo muy
He
dificultad.
said, "My soul wandered in the wilderness.
他这样说：“我的心漂流在旷野之上，
Mi alma estuvo en el desierto.
I could neither sleep nor eat.
我吃不下，睡不着。
No podía dormir o comer.
My heart was filled with the deepest unhappiness."
心中充满了极端的苦闷。
El corazón era inquieto.
The best short biography of Dr. Sung was written by Chinese missionary, Methodist missionary, William E. Schubert.
最好的一本宋尚节的传记呢，就是一个寻道宗的去中国传道的一个牧师William 舒伯特。
La biografía mejor fue escrita por William E. Sugar.
It's called simply, I Remember John Sung.
题目就是我记得宋尚杰。
Simplemente me recuerdo John Sung.
Many of the feelings and experiences Dr. Sung had at the liberal seminary, I also felt during my 3rd year at Golden Gate Baptist Theological Seminary.
所以宋尚杰博士在自由神学院里面感觉到那个感受，我都在那边完全感受过。
Mucho lo que sintió él, yo también lo sentí en el seminario.
By the 3rd year, I was completely alone, deeply depressed, and seriously thinking about leaving the ministry for good.
到了第3年读这个神学院的时候，我感觉到非常孤独、精神沮丧，确实的认真想到要放弃传道事业。
Al tercer año estaba deprimido pensando dejar el ministerio.
There was one major difference.
有一个不同之处，
Una gran diferencia.
When John Sung felt that way, he had not been converted.
当时呢，宋尚杰就是我当时还没有得就是没有得转变，宋尚杰，
I was already converted
但是我已经得
Cuando
到转
John Sung pensó así, no era convertido, yo sí.
in a definite way.
以一个确切的方式，我已经得到转变了。
Y por cierto,
But in a similar state of deep depression, Dr. Sung turned to Christ.
但这种心灵非常沮丧的时候，宋尚杰不是转向了基督，
igual a la depresión volteó de Jesús.
And was converted.
最后得到了真实的转变。
Fue convertido.
Late one night in the liberal seminary, Dr. Sung experienced Christ.
结果宋尚杰不是一个深夜的时候，有一天晚上经历了基督。
Y él encontró de Jesús.
Now, you must to really be a Christian is not just study the Bible.
真正做基督徒不是读圣经得来的，
Para ser cristiano no solamente estudiar la Biblia.
To truly be a Christian, one has to experience Christ.
要真正做基督徒，必须要经历基督。
Para ser cristiano tienes que tener
It is difficult
experimentar
to
Jesús.
it is difficult to explain,
很难解释，
Difícil explicar.
but it's called the new birth
但叫做新生
Nuevo nacimiento
or conversion.
或者转变。
o conversión.
That's the way you become a Christian. And the strange thing is you can't discover it by working or studying. It has to be by grace.
你不能靠读书、学习、研究来搞清楚如何成为基督徒。
No puede ser por trabajando, tiene que ser por gracia.
In his seminary late at night, Dr. Sung read the 23rd chapter of the Gospel of Luke.
就靠恩典呢，宋尚杰博士那天晚上在这个沮丧中间读到路加福音23章。
Seminario tarde de noche leyó Lucas 23.
He was a very brilliant man
很聪明，
and very, very up, hyper. And
非常精明。
in that time, at midnight in January, in his seminary dormitory,
当时的
Christ came to him.
基督降临了，
En la noche en el seminario Jesús vino a él.
And he prayed for Christ to cleanse him of his sin with his blood. And of course, Christ did that. And we've had so many people saved that way.
结果
I
呢
can't get rid of my sin anyway. Jesus, wash my sin away with your blood. I don't understand it. The Bible said to do that. And they do.
结果这些人在祈求耶稣基督用宝血清洗他们的时候，耶稣却是洗净遮盖了他们的罪恶。
No puedo, y entonces vienes a Jesús y tienes los pecados lavados en la sangre de él.
Where's Emmy Hua? Where are you at? Stand up a second.
华小
You may be seated. That nice girl very recently had the experience
这位女孩子华小姐呢，最近刚经历了基督，
Esa muchacha acaba de tener la
of
experiencia.
trusting Jesus, being washed clean with his blood, and becoming a real Christian. After 2 years trying to study the Bible, she had the mystical experience of Christ in the new birth.
在教会里面待了2年，不断的努力，但最后呢，通过基督得到了转变。
Después de unos cuantos años estudiar, vino Jesús.
When I was in the liberal seminary, I was ready to quit. And late one night, I woke up with a verse of scripture going through my mind.
当时我在基督派神学院里面几乎要就放弃了传道了，结果一天晚上半夜的时候，有节经文跳入我的心头。
En seminario listo para rendirme de noche me pensé de un verso.
He has made us accepted in the beloved.
他使我们在爱子里面承蒙悦纳。
Nos ha hizo aceptado en el amado.
Ephesians 1:6.
以弗所书1章6节
Efesios
英文的
1:6
翻译。
I got out of bed, looked at the verse in my concordance, and God said to me, "This is for you."
结果下了床查到了这节经文，神对我说：“这节经文赐给你的。”
Lo busqué en la concordancia y pensé, Dios dijo esto para ti.
Robert Hymers, you are accepted in the beloved.
罗伯特·海默斯，你是承蒙悦纳的人，
Roberto Hymers, tú eres aceptado entre el amado.
Because you are in my beloved Son, Jesus,
因为
I
你在，
accept you and we accept you.
因为你在我的爱子中间。
Porque estás en mi amado, dijo Jesús, te aceptamos.
I got out of bed that night, put on my clothes, and went out into the night.
结果那天晚上穿上衣服，去到了午
Me
夜中
vestí,
黑暗中，
salí en la noche.
I walked to the top of a little flat-topped hill behind the seminary.
爬到了学院宿舍后边那个平顶山丘上。
Caminé por una colima atrás del seminario.
Every time I'm in San Francisco, I go to that spot.
我每次去三藩市都要去访问那个地方。
Cada vez que estoy en San Francisco voy a ese lugar.
In the distance, I could see the lights of San Francisco across the water of the bay.
站在小山丘上，我们就通过海面看到对面那个三藩市的灯火。
Se puede ver las luces de San Francisco a través del agua de la bahía.
Mount Tamalpais to the west.
而且西边就是他们帕耶山，
Y la montaña de Tamalpais al oeste.
The wind was ice cold. It blew through my hair,
寒
through
风
my clothes. It felt like I was standing there naked
寒风吹拂着我的头
with
发，
the
而且
icy wind
刺
blowing
骨
through
寒
me.
冷。
Viento frío a través del pelo y la ropa.
And in the wind, God spoke to me.
结果神在这风中对我这样讲，
En el viento Dios me habló.
And God said, "Now you will preach. Now you will not preach to please men.
从此以后你宣道不是为了讨好于人，
Ahora no predicarás o complacer a los hombres.
Now you will preach only to please me."
现在来宣道只是为了我。
Ahora solamente para complacerme a mí.
And God said, "Now you are my preacher."
你现在是我的宣道士。
Ahora eres mi predicador.
And God told me in that moment that my main work would not begin until I was an old man.
就在那天晚上，神告诉我说，我只有到老年的时候才和主要的工作开始。
Dios me dijo que mi obra principal no iba a empezar hasta que tenía ya edad.
I went back to bed. I was chilled to the bone.
我冷风透骨之后呢，感到非常冷，
Me
回到
acosté muy
床上
frío.。
But I knew for sure that God had called me to preach.
但那时候我明确的知道，神召唤我是为了宣福音。
Pero sabía que Dios me había llamado a predicar.
I will never be a great evangelist like John's son.
我永远无法像宋尚杰那么样传道士，
Nunca seré gran evangelista como John Son.
I will never be a foreign missionary
也不可能出国做传教士，
Nunca seré misionero,
as I intended.
就像我想象的，
tal como Dios pensaba.
I wasn't as intelligent as Dr. Sung,
不像宋博士那样聪慧。
No tan inteligente como Dr. Son.
but maybe one of you will take my place.
但有可能你们中间之一呢可以代替我。
Pero quizá uno de ustedes tomará mi puesto.
Now more than ever, after having cancer,
现在得了癌症，
reaching near within a year and a half or two of 80 years old, more than ever, I look to some young person to take my place and do what I wanted to do.
2年后就快80岁了。我现在寻求这个年轻人来代替我去做成我的愿望。
Sobreviviendo cáncer y casi 80 años de edad, miro a los jóvenes que hagan lo que yo no pude.
I will never be a foreign missionary. I'm too old at 77.
77岁已经再也不能去出国传道了。
Nunca seré misionero a campo de otro país.
But I pray that others here, or those far off in Asia or the world, will take my evangelistic sermon manuscripts and preach them standing in my place.
我希望有些年轻人在这儿在座的，或者在东方的一些人，利用我们讲的道呢，在东方去宣道。
Pero ojalá que alguien tome mis sermones y lo predique en otro lugar.
Preaching my sermons from the internet
通过互联网来宣道，
Predicando mis sermones del internet.
and doing what I so desperately wanted to do when I was a 19-year-old boy back in 1961.
去完成我61年的时候非常想做的事情。
Haciendo lo que quería hacer en el 61.
I am very pleased with John Kagan,
我很喜欢约翰凯根，
Estoy bien complacido con John Kagan.
the young man who led this service.
刚才这位年轻
He
人，
will be a great
El que guió el
preacher.
servicio.
成为优秀的人。
If you come here on Sunday morning, you will hear John preach.
如果你要礼拜天早上来的，我会听到约翰宣道；
Si viene domingo por la mañana, escucharás a John
If you
predicar.
come here on Sunday night, you'll hear me preach.
晚上的时候我来宣道。
Si vienes por la noche, me escucharás a mí predicar.
I'm not preaching now. I'm just telling you about John's son.
现在我不是在宣道，而是讲故事。
Estoy predicando, te digo solamente de John Sung.
In the foreword to the recently published extracts from the diary of John Sung, Reverend Hua Young of Malaysia said this.
最近出版的宋尚节日记的前言中间呢，来自马来西亚的这个杨牧师杨华牧师这样讲。
En el libro de John Sung, el Wow Young, de Malaysia, dijo esto.
Dr. Hua Young of Malaysia said this.
马来西亚的杨华牧师这样说：
Ese ministro dijo esto.
He said, in the past 40 years or so of my own adult life,
在我过去的这40年成人生活中，
En los últimos 40 años de mi vida adulta,
I have seen the churches in Asia grow in numbers and confidence.
我见到了亚洲的教会不断的成长，信心增强。
he visto la iglesia en Asia de crecer en número y confianza.
Increasingly, said Dr. Hua Young, increasingly, he said, I sense that God is calling us Asians to play a vital role in the task of proclaiming Christ throughout the world.
杨牧师讲呢，逐渐我感觉到神正在召唤我们亚洲的那些担起传福音的职责。
Que Dios está llamando a ellos que traigan el evangelio al mundo.
But if the churches of Asia are to be faithful to this task, there needs to be many who will take to heart what James Denny said and what John Sung so clearly understood.
如果我们亚洲教会真能挑起一个向全世界宣福音的这个担子的话，许多人必须用心思索一下丹尼斯所讲的，或者宋尚节如此清楚的理解这个事。
Si va a pasar, tienen que ver lo que dijo James Denny y a lo que entendió John Sung.
He said, what must emerge is a new generation of Asian Christians, especially among our young people today.
他说，必须有新一代的亚裔基督教徒年轻人成长起来，尤其是我们年轻这一代中间。
Tenemos que tener generación nueva de asiáticos, de chinos cristianos.
Young people who know clearly that in this present evil world there must be great renunciations, self-denials, if there's to be great Christian careers.
他说，必须我们年轻人理解这一点，在现代如此邪恶的时代中间，必须有极强的自我否认感，方能建成有效的福音事业。
Eso que saben que tenemos que negarnos si es que va a haber gran futuro.
And dare to live accordingly,
并勇于如此去生活，
Que se atrevan a vivir en los juegos.
especially among the younger generation.
尤其是在年轻一代人中间。
Especialmente entre los jóvenes.
May it be a movement of those who know what great self-denials mean.
但愿有那么广泛的运动，这个年轻人能了解到自我否认是含义是如何。
Que sea movimiento de que eso que sepan que es negar.
Which will lead to many great Christian careers for the advancement of Christ's kingdom and glory.
他们会为基督的王国与神的事业荣耀是投入传教事业，这推进神的王国。
Cual llevará de gran carrera cristiana a la gloria de Jesús.
Renunciation and self-denial begins with conversion.
真正的这否认自己，从转变开始。
Negarse a sí mismo empieza en conversión.
Confess your sins and renounce them.
承认自己的罪，离弃自己的罪，
Confiesa los pecados, renúncialos.
Trust Jesus no matter what it costs.
无论代价多大，信靠耶稣基督。
Confía en Jesús, no importa lo que cueste.
Dr. John Sung was a great Christian because he had a great conversion.
宋尚节博士这个优秀的基督徒，因为他的转变经历非常确凿。
Dr. John Sung era gran cristiano porque tuvo gran conversión.
He had a great conversion because he had great self-denial.
因为他这个转变就是有很强的自我否认感。
Gran conversión porque se negó a sí mismo.
He threw his scholar's medals and gold fraternity key into the ocean.
他把自己学术的奖章和一切的文凭都投入了太平洋，
Arrojó las medallas de escolar y de la fraternidad todo al mar.
And went back to China to preach the gospel to the simple people.
回到了中国大陆，向普通百姓来宣福音。
Regresó a China para predicar a los simples.
John Sung denied himself many of the pleasures of life
宋尚节否认了
that
自
he
己
could have had.
生活中可以得到很多安逸。
Se negó mucho los placeres de la vida que pudo haber tenido.
A few nights before he was converted, God said to John Sung, spoke to his heart and said,
在他获得转变之前几天，神对宋尚杰这样讲
Una noche antes de ser convertido, Dios le dijo:
give up your sin,
放弃你的罪吗？
deja tu pecado,
renounce the world,
放弃世界，
renuncia al mundo,
give Christ first place in your life,
让基督成为你人生第一位，
dele a Jesús primer lugar en tu
be
vida,
washed clean from your sin by the blood of Christ.
靠基督的宝血放弃就是清洗你一身的罪恶，
ser lavado limpio de tu pecado por la sangre de Jesús.
Then live for Christ with all your heart, soul, and life.
然后全心全意、尽心尽性的为基督生活。
Vive por Jesús con toda tu vida, de alma y de corazón.
Please stand and sing hymn number 1.
圣诗第一首一
Himno
同唱。
Hymn number 1, hymno numero uno. Thank you for watching today's sermon.
感谢大家观看今天我们讲的道。
Gracias por mirar el sermón de hoy.
And if you are not saved, I urge you to come to Jesus.
如果你仍未得救的时候，我鼓励你、督促你信靠基督。
Si no eres salvo, te animo que vengas a Jesús.
When I was a young person, I went forward many times to be saved and to rededicate my life, but somehow I never got saved that way.
要知道，我年轻的时候，我许多次走到前面去得救，或者重新奉献我的一生，但是那样的方式一直没有使我得救。
Cuando yo era joven, yo fui al frente para ser salvo muchas veces, pero no fue así.
When I did get saved, it was a very simple matter.
当我得救那天，非常简单。
Cuando sí fui salvo fue una cosa muy simple.
I simply came to Jesus and trusted him, and he saved me and washed me clean with his blood.
我就是简简单单信靠了耶稣基督，相信了他，用他的宝血洗净了我的罪孽。
Simplemente vine a Jesús, confié en Él y Él me lavó con su sangre.
It's extremely important to know where Jesus is. I don't think I really thought about that before that I was saved, the day I was saved.
要知道，在我得救那天之前呢，我一直没有意识到耶稣到底是在何处，现在在何处，这非常重要的一点。
Es muy importante que sepas dónde es que está Jesús. Yo no creo que pensé de eso antes del día que fui salvo.
Right now, Jesus is not in the air all around us. He's not on the cross still. Jesus is not in our hearts. The Holy Spirit is, but not Jesus. The Bible says repeatedly, over and over again, that Jesus is at the right hand of God the Father in heaven.
如今呢，耶稣并没有在我们周围各处那个虚无缥缈中间飘，也没有在石架上，更没有在我们心中，圣灵在我们心中。但是圣经重复讲到，耶稣基督在上天神的右手边。
Jesús no está todo alrededor de nosotros, no está en el corazón. El Espíritu Santo sí está con nosotros, pero Jesús en la Biblia dice que está a la mano derecha de Dios el Padre en el cielo.
And Jesus loves you. He's not angry with you.
耶稣爱着你，他并没有生你的气。
Jesús te ama, no está enojado contigo.
God the Father is angry with the wicked every day, but Jesus came into the world, the Son of God came into the world to save sinners. And he loves you.
神呢，每一天都生那些罪人的气，因为为他们犯的罪。但是耶稣基督来到人间，他为了就是拯救罪人。
Jesús no está enojado contigo. Jesús vino al mundo para salvar los pecadores. Él te ama.
And God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Even though he was angry with sin, he loved the world and sent his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16.
虽然神憎恶这些世间的罪孽，但是呢，他爱世人，将他自己的独生子赐给我们，让一切信他的不至灭亡，反得永生。约翰福音3章16节。
De tal manera amó Dios al mundo que dio su Hijo unigénito para que cualquiera que crea en Él no se pierda, mas tenga vida eterna.
Sometimes people ask me, how do you come to Jesus?
有时候常常有人问我，如何才能走向基督？
A veces la gente me pregunta cómo es que vienes a Jesús.
I never answer that question because the Bible doesn't answer it.
我从来没有去回答这个问题，因为圣经没有这样回答。
Nunca doy respuesta de esa pregunta porque la Biblia no da respuesta.
When you are tired of your sin and tired of your struggle, then God will draw you to Jesus, and it will be a very simple matter.
当你厌倦了自己的罪恶的时候，当你厌倦了那种挣扎之下的时候，结果神就会自然而然引导你信靠基督了。
Cuando estás cansado de tu pecado, entonces es un negocio fácil para que Dios te traiga a Jesús.
Not long ago, I was reading again the testimony of the salvation of Dr. A.W. Tozer.
不久以前，我又一次读了读 A.W. Tozer 博士他得救的见证。
Reciente estaba leyendo de nuevo la conversión al testimonio del Dr. Tozer.
Dr. Tozer heard a man preach the gospel on a street corner.
要叫头舍博士在一个街头，在街边听到一个人宣讲福音。
Dr. Tozer escuchó a alguien predicando el evangelio de una esquina.
It was the first time he had ever heard the gospel.
这是他第一次听到福音的宣扬。
Fue la primera vez de que había escuchado el evangelio.
He was 17 years old.
17岁才。
17 años de edad.
And Dr. Tozer ran home. He didn't stop to talk to anybody or tell anybody about it. He ran home and went up into the attic of his father's house.
这个头舍博士一路跑回家，路上没有跟任何人打招呼，跑到家以后去到阁楼上面，他的父亲家里面的阁楼上面藏起来。
Dr. Tozer corrió de la casa después de escuchar eso, no le habló con nadie, se puso enseguida a la azotea de la casa.
And he got down on his knees and came to Jesus.
结果就在阁楼上面单独一个人跪下了以后，再信靠了耶稣基督。
Se arrodilló y vino enseguida a Jesús.
And he went on to become one of the great preachers of the 20th century.
结果继续成为一个20世纪最知名的一个传教士之一。
Fue uno de los grandes predicadores del siglo XX.
Perhaps that would be a good way for you to do. If you heard this sermon and you feel that you're lost, get in a quiet place by yourself.
有可能这是可以成为你得救的方式。当你在网站上面听到了我们这个宣道的时候，可以自己一个人单独祷告。
Quizás eso sería bueno también para ti. Si estás escuchando este sermón y estás perdido, ve a un lugar callado de solo.
Get down on your knees. That helps to humble you. Get down on your knees and come to Jesus, and His blood will wash every sin away, past, present, and future.
这样跪下呢，帮助你作为一些卑微一下，让这样跪下请求耶稣基督，请求神的原谅，这样呢，原谅你过去、现在和未来全部的罪孽。
Hincante en tus rodillas y ven a Jesús. Él lavará tus pecados pasado, presente, futuro.
Repent and believe in Jesus.
当忏悔、信靠主耶稣，
Arrepiéntete, cree en Jesús.
Turn away from your sinful lifestyle and get down on your knees and simply, by faith, come to Jesus. That's all He requires. Him that cometh to me, I will in no wise cast out, He said in the 6th chapter of John.
在约翰福音6章这里面讲，耶稣这样到我这里来，我绝不会离弃他们。所以你要抛弃自己邪恶的生活，结果转向耶稣，靠信仰信靠他，这就是他所需要的一切了。
Ese camino bien, no lo rechazaré, dijo en breve en el Evangelio de Juan.
And then if you do come to Christ, I pray that you will get into a church as soon as possible and be in church every time the door is open. There's no more important advice that I could give you. Get into a church and be there every time the door is open.
但是当你得到转变之后，一定要找一个地方教会，每一次教会有活动都去参加，没有比这更重要的了。一旦你得到转变，参加一个地方教会。
No hay mejor consejo que te puedo dar menos que ve a la iglesia y esté ahí cada vez que la puerta esté abierta.
And if at all possible, make sure it's a church that preaches from the authorized King James Bible and sings the traditional hymns.
如果可能的话，这个教会应当是宣扬 King James 这版本，而且他们唱的是传统的圣诗。
Y si es posible, asegúrate que sea de la King James y los himnos antiguos.
And go to the pastor and tell the pastor that you've been saved.
而且告诉了牧师你如何得救的。
Habla con el pastor, dile que fuiste salvo.
And the best advice I could possibly give you is to get in to a church, a local church,
and be there every time the door is open. That's the way to grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. And be sure to give a tithe of your money to the church, and God will bless you.
所以我给你最重要的这个建议就是进入一个地方教会，在那里面就是在恩典之下不断成长，而且拿出你的11奉献交给这个地方教会。
Métete en una iglesia local, es una de las mejores maneras de crecer en gracia y conocimiento de un diezmo ahí, Dios te bendecirá.
Now, I would like to ask you to support this ministry and help us.
我现在希望你能够帮助我们的网站上面传道事业。
Quiero pedirte de que nos ayudes apoyando este ministerio.
Because these sermons are going out throughout the world in many, many languages, and we're adding more languages almost every month.
要知道，我们这是通过网站各种各样的10几种语言，而且我们越来越多的语言，不断的每个月都要加上去，所以这是传遍世界的一个福音。
Estos sermones van a través del mundo en la internet en muchos idiomas y añadimos más idiomas casi cada mes.
And Dr. Kagan, is our statistician, has estimated, based on various things that he's studied, that 80% of those who watch who read my sermons in manuscript form on this website, 80% of them are pastors.
Kagan 博士，我们教会的一个统计学家，他这样估计，就是在我们网站上面读我们讲道的那些朋友呢，80%都是宣道士。
Y el doctor Kagan, que hace la estadística con nosotros, piensa de que 80% de la gente que ve estos videos, escucha, son predicadores.
And they are using these sermons when they get stuck, as I often do, to give them a sermon idea. And in the third world, in places where the gospel cannot go, many preachers are preaching these sermons verbatim, right, word for word.
要知道，很多的牧师，当他们自己根本不知道要宣讲什么的时候呢，通过网站可以得到一些启发。很多在第三世界国家那些教会的牧师，通过我们网站上面逐字逐句，就是用我们的讲的道来宣讲。
Y ayuda a pastores a veces cuando no saben a qué predicar, pero también en los países terceros mundo la están predicando palabra por palabra.
I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know it until not too long ago. But 1/3 of the world does not have any, not even one missionary, doesn't have any missionaries from the United States, Great Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. No missionaries from the English-speaking world in 1/3 of the world.
不知道你有没有注意到，我是最近才发现，就是在1/3世界上的地区，西方世界，美国、英国，而且欧洲还澳大利亚等等，那么西方世界传教士根本去不到世界1/3地区。
No sé si lo sabes, pero un tercio del mundo no tiene misioneros de que hablan inglés.
Jesus said, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature."
耶稣这样告诫我们要往普天下去，向万民传福音。
Jesús dijo de ir a todo el mundo predicando el evangelio a cada criatura.
But our Western missionaries cannot get into 1/3 of the world. That's about 2.5 billion people where our missionaries cannot go.
但是我们西方这个传教士大概有1/3的地区，大概也就是2亿5千万人，根本就是我们达不到我们这些西方传教士他们这个声音之下。
Un tercio del mundo, como 1 billón de gente, los misioneros nuestros no pueden ir ahí.
But the native pastors are there.
但是有本地的传教士在那里。
Pero los pastores nativos sí están ahí.
And they are the only way, they are the only means of spreading the gospel in those countries is through the native pastors.
在那些地区，就是唯一通过地方的本地传教士来把福音传出去，是唯一的方式了。
Es la única manera de repartir el evangelio es a través de los nativos pastores.
At the beginning of World War II, Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of England, sent a message to President Franklin D. Roosevelt in America, and he said, "Give us the tools and we'll finish the job."
第二次世界大战开始的时候，Winston 丘吉尔曾经发了一个信息传给这个美国的总统罗斯福，这样祈求到说，请你们把工具交到我们手中，我们就把这工作完成的。
Al principio de la guerra mundial, Churchill le mandó una correspondencia al presidente Roosevelt diciéndole, mándanos las herramientas y nosotros terminaremos el trabajo.
And that's what we're attempting to do with this website. We're sending the printed sermons, word for word, on the internet to those nations in the Muslim world, the Buddhist world, the Hindu world, where our missionaries cannot go.
这就是我们通过这个网站所要办到的事情，把这个福音的信息逐句的传到那些1/3，就是穆斯林教国家，还有那些佛教的国家，各种各样的一个传教士去不到的地方，把那些这个武器交在那些传教士的手中。
Y eso es lo que estamos haciendo. Estamos mandando estos sermones escritos palabra por palabra a los lugares musulmanes de otros del mundo que donde los misioneros no pueden ir.
We're giving those native pastors the tools, and they will finish the job of spreading the gospel in those parts of the world where our missionaries cannot go.
我们把这些传福音的工具交在那些本地的传教士他们的手中，他们就会完成这样传福音的工作。
Nosotros estamos dando a esos pastores las herramientas para que ellos puedan hacer el trabajo.
And we are giving those pastors, those native pastors, the tools, and they will finish the job of going into all the world and spreading the gospel to every creature in that 1/3 of the world where our missionaries cannot go.
我们就是把这个工具交到他们这个本地的那宣道士的手中，让他们去到那个1/3我们西方传教士去不到的地方，往普天下去，把这个福音传给万民听。
Estamos mandando estas herramientas a los sermones en ese tercio del mundo donde los misioneros nuestros no pueden ir.
And that's where you come in.
这就是你在这里可以帮助我们了。
Ahí es donde tú ayudas.
I am asking you to help us add more languages and more translators.
现在我就是希望你能够帮助我们更加多一些另外的一些翻译的工作，而且更加多一些语言上去。
Te estoy pidiendo que nos ayudes para que podamos agregar más idiomas más idiomas.
People in our own church translate the sermons into Chinese, Japanese, Tagalog, the language of the Philippines, Spanish, and of course I give them in English. And so we are able to do those 5 languages. But all the rest of the languages, we have to pay a small amount of money to the missionaries and Christian workers that translate all the other languages.
要知道，我们本教会这些朋友们已经翻译成了中文、西班牙语，而且日文，还有一些 Tagalog， 就是墨西哥那些。但是呢，其他的这语言呢，都是要有其他的，我们要给他们一些资助，给他们一些报答，让他们来帮助我们做翻译。
Y nosotros en nuestra iglesia estamos nosotros mismos traduciendo en español, en japonés, en coreano, en chino y pues claro en inglés, pero tenemos que pagar a los otros que están afuera de la iglesia.
Now, we have raised a lot of money here for the languages that are already up, but to add more languages, we're going to need your help.
现在我们网站上刊载这10几种语言呢，我们要用很多这个资金来赞助，但是要加更多的语言的话，我们就需要你来帮助了。
Estamos mucho dinero acá para los idiomas que sí tenemos en el sitio internet, pero para añadir más idiomas necesitamos ayuda.
Could you possibly make a monthly pledge to help us add more languages to this website?
你能不能保证每个月来拿出一笔这个资金来帮助我们把更多的语言加在我们网站上面？
¿Podrías mensualmente ayudarnos con una promesa para ayudarnos a añadir más idiomas?
If you can do it, I'm asking you to send $50 a month. If that's not possible, $25 a month, and make a monthly pledge to this ministry to help us get these sermons out in those parts of the world where none of our missionaries can go.
所以我希望你能够每个月呢能够赞助些50块钱，如果不可能的话，25块钱也可以，25块钱能够帮助我们把这个语言，把这各种各样的福音传到这个世界上面1/3地区，我们这个西方传教士去不到的地方。
Si nos pudiera ayudar, por favor, promete para ayudar algo mensualmente para que podamos mandar esto a lugares donde los misioneros no pueden ir.
Because the internet goes everywhere.
因为万维网站呢是去到是无孔不入的。
La internet va a todas partes.
And those native pastors can print out the sermons from their computer or copy them down with a pencil or pen, and often they circulate these sermons and pass them on to others. So would you help us with a monthly gift?
所以那些本地的牧师可以打印出来，或者把它抄下来，或者做拷贝等等，或者是流传给另一个人。你能不能帮助我们做好这些工作呢？
Frecuentemente los pastores escriben palabra por palabra lo que se ve en la computadora, pero la cosa es que, por favor, ayúdanos mensualmente.
And if you can do that, you could send the money with a credit card, or you could send it by Western Union, and see if you can send it in with American money if possible. And the sheet will come up in just a moment that tells you how to send the money by credit card or the post office box where you can mail it.
你要是做奉献献给我们教会的话，你可以写支票，一会儿呢，荧幕上在底下就可以看到这些寄给我们这个地址，同时也可以用你的信用卡或者是 PayPal 或者 Western Union 都可以的做奉献给我们教会，请你帮助我们。
Un momento verás la dirección donde se puede enviar el dinero a través de tarjeta de crédito, de PayPal o a Western Union, pero ojalá mándalo en dólares, pero si no, vienen pronto la dirección en la pantalla.
So keep watching, and that information will come up on the screen in just a moment.
所以继续看下来，观看下去，一会儿这个做奉献这个信息呢，就打印在这个荧幕上让你看了。
Sigue mirando y esa información se verá en momento en la pantalla.